you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's Tiff with the T, back with another reaction. It's Kevin Samuels today. Before we get started, give me a thumbs up, share this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Today's shout out goes to Boss Odorinde. He's the owner of Sound Extreme Studios, which is a music studio here in Atlanta. He also does sound production. He's a producer. Definitely check him out. He's one of the best in the industry. Follow him on IG, and let's just get into this video.
I am well. How are you?
Good.
How old are you?
23.
23. Any children?
No.
Single or married?
Single.
How tall are you?
5'4".
Dress size?
About between a 4 and 6.
How much did you weigh? How much do you weigh the last time you stepped on the scale?
About 135.
And where would you rank yourself on the open market?
I'd say about a 7, 8.
My system, you can't use 7.
Why not?
I don't have to explain it to you. I said you can't use 7.
Why?
Young lady, I'm going to say it one more time.
So what number should I use?
The right one, which is a 5.
A 5.
Yeah.
Wow, this girl really thought she was a 7 or an 8.
Why would I be a 5?
Because you're average.
Okay, and what makes me average?
Because you look average. You go in the club, you stand in a long line. You don't get in VIP. You stand in line with the men. It's not a bad thing. You don't
Ain't
ride
not
up.
even a 6?
Girl, no, you are not a 6. And 5 is even being nice. That's just my opinion. Honestly, I feel Kevin is being a little generous with that 5. That's just my own personal opinion.
No, not even a 6.
Wow.
Why? Man, what's wrong with being average though?
There's nothing wrong with being average.
Then why you keep at? Because I told you you can't use a 7. But you're not an 8. There's no way you're an 8. Because if you're an 8, we need to. Again, like I said, and now your ranking's falling even worse because now you're getting into your combative masculine. I didn't make it this way, ma'am, and whether I say it or anybody else says.
Yes, now her ranking is going lower. You're being confrontational about somebody telling you the reality, you know? And now it just looks like, okay, so you can't even handle the truth. And it's unattractive when somebody is not able to face the truth. It automatically takes you down a notch. And then if you're argumentative on top of that, like, you know, you're unrealistic and you're argumentative, like you can't tell you nothing. Well, my personal opinion on being average, there's nothing wrong with being average. Nothing wrong. You gotta be the best version of yourself, whether you're a 10, 1, 5, 3. You gotta rock that number. You know, you have to be the best version of yourself. Not everybody can be a 10. That's just the truth. Not everybody can be a 7 or an 8 or a 6. Whatever it is that you are, own that shit. Own who you are. Be proud of it. Make it look good. Dress it up and put a bow on it, baby, because you're still somebody. Just because you don't look the best doesn't mean you don't have anything to offer, but be realistic about it, first of all.
It's not going to change the reality. We all look like what we look like. So you either become the best version of your 5 or you become pissy about it. Still a 5.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. Whether you mad about it or not, you still gonna be a 5, boo.
You want to give you an example?
Okay.
I'm give you an example. You can't use 7 because 7 is a number that most people try to use. People who are 6s try to give themselves a 7, and people who are 8 try to give themselves 7. Some people try to hedge up, some people try to hedge down. When you take out 7, it makes you understand a person's mindset. And your mindset was to give yourself more than you're worth. And I'm going to say something. I need you to hold on because it's not an insult, but it's going to sound like one. I need you to hold on, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to 1983, 1985, go look at the movie Color Purple. Go look at Whoopi Goldberg's character, not on the movie. Go look at pictures of Whoopi Goldberg back in the early to mid 80s. You guys are in the same kind of demographic. Why is that insulting? Whoopi Goldberg's not an ugly woman.
Why is she laughing? Is she laughing because she doesn't think that what he's saying is true? Or let's see.
Why is that?
That does sound like an insult.
Okay, well, since you want me to, I'm not going to feed your delusion. When was the last time you went out?
Like on a date?
No, out partying, out hanging out, socializing. Where you had to pay a cover charge to get in. Right. Did you go to college?
Yes.
Parties on campus, were they free? Or do you have to pay a cover charge?
Most of them were free.
Have you ever gone to a nightclub?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to pay to get in?
No.
Were you sitting in VIP?
No.
Was there a VIP in the club?
Yes.
Did the women in VIP look like you?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
The women in VIP look, I see now they get game goofy. And so you want me to push it and go there, man. Do the women in VIP look like you?
Yes, they do.
No, they're female. That doesn't mean they look like you. Now, I've been as polite as I can, and I try to be as reasonable as I can.
To be fair, she is handling it fairly well. You know, you could tell she is disappointed in the score that he gave her, right? But she's managing to rein it in. You know, you could tell she's irritated, like, whatever, dude. But she hasn't, popped off at the mouth yet. So let's see what happens.
And you make light of the things I'm saying, and I'm like, all right, just go look at what I'm saying. I don't think Whoopi Goldberg's an ugly woman. She's an average-looking woman, especially back then. But your ranking of yourself, does it match up with your outcomes? Do men
you trying to say I look like Whoopi Goldberg because I got my hair like this?
No, that's not what he's saying. It has nothing to do with your hair. Your face is average. And I'll add average at best. Because, nah, sis.
Because I
don't
got my
get
hair
me
like
wrong.
this?
No, I'm saying, well, that doesn't hurt for that particular reference, but her hair wasn't like that in the movie. See, one thing when you ask yourself a question, do the kind of men who are chasing after the 8s, 9s, and 10s actively approach you for serious relationship? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is no, they don't. And see, this is part of the problem of lying to women. Telling them everybody's beautiful, everybody's a 10, everybody gets a trophy. Hearing the truth is offensive. But the reality of everybody's lived life is you know what you get in the world. So I get to be the asshole that has to keep telling women being a 5 as an average does not mean you're ugly. It just means you're not pretty, beautiful, or gorgeous.
Well, that's your opinion.
Well, that's your opinion, she says. Well, his opinion may not be everybody's opinion, but there's a good chunk of people out there who would rate you about the same or less. So take that for what you will. Yeah, you do have the exceptions, people who will think that you're a 6 or a 7, but realistically, that's just not the majority, you know, and you have to be able to take that and say, well, it is what it is. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to get a man, but if you're not able to first accept the reality of what you bring to the table, once you're not getting your expected results, you're going to be confused as to why, because you're not living in reality. You're expecting to get a girl who looks like Beyonce, her level of results. We're not talking about success wise. We're talking about just based off of looks only. You expect to pull the same type of men that Beyonce would pull if she was your average girl.
And this is what it means. This is what it means. Okay. Then yes, ma'am. Go get your Revlon or your Ford model contract and enjoy the runway.
The reality of the situation is that women are not telling each other the truth. You know, when we hear the harsh reality from a man, we are so quick to get defensive or quick to laugh it off and dismiss it. We love to hear that we're all beautiful and we all deserve a man of quality. But the truth is, you get what you give. If you're giving me sloppy, you're big, you're overweight, you are masculine, you're combative, you have kids before you get married, those are all things that lower your market value. And that just is the truth. For example, if you buy a house, a brand new house's market value is going to be completely different than a house that has had 3 or 4 families living in it, has stains on the walls, is banged up a little bit, been around since the 80s or 70s. Its market value is going to be a lot less than a house that was just built this year. It's going to be completely different than a brand new house. And that's the same way it works in the dating game. That's the same way it works out here. But women fail to realize that, and then they get upset when you remind them that, hey, when we're talking about putting a ring on your finger and giving the level of commitment that you want, you have to think of it like when buying a house and that level of commitment. You're not going to want to be paying new house price for a house that has all these renovations that you're going to have to put into it. It's just not realistic. Same with buying a car. It's the same for anything that you buy. When a man proposes to you or chooses you to be his wife, he's buying you for your market value. It's the same thing. It's relational. Like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being average. Whatever it is that God gave you, embrace that, you know, especially if it's something that you cannot change. We're talking about facial symmetry. We're talking about the overall pleasantry of how it is to look at your face. Those are things that you can't change. Most of the time, it's genetic. You got a piece of it from your mama, a piece of it from your daddy. And that's just, it is what it is. The thing that Kevin Samuels is always trying to say is the things that you can change them. What you can't, you have to work with it, you know, and be realistic about it. that's really all I had to say about that. I showed you that clip because I thought it was a good little segment to discuss. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.